Yo, it's your boy AJ. Oh my God. The Denver Nuggets are the NBA champions. We're going to break it all down. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. You are now tuned in to Hoops World.
Hoops World.
James.
Right here, the king is like, hey, guess what? I'm still the king.
I hit the streets just to get a bag. I pack, he got toe tagged. I punched the nigga for shorty. I'm John Woo with the 40. You not gang nor the homie. Don't blow me, no, you don't know me. Gang shit, members only. You wasn't there, I was lonely. You wasn't there, I was lonely. Dog nights, blicky on me. I was just stacking my commas up. Head down, trying to run it up. These niggas be steady, be clocking me. Like the DJ, they watching me. That's why I gotta move.
Oh, man. It's bittersweet, man. It's the end of basketball, man. Wow. Hate to see it, man. You hate to see it. As basketball junkies, it sucks, the season being over. But congrats to the Denver Nuggets. And it was a great season for them, man. What a Cinderella season, I guess you would say, right?
It was crazy to think that they were like the top seed the whole time. Like they held true to like that number one seed, and they still managed to like be overlooked.
Yeah, they were still overlooked. Like people didn't respect them as a one seed. Like the whole league was like, the Nuggets are not winning the chip. You know what I'm saying? Like they just
and when everyone was really like talking about like their Western Conference finals, their finals predictions. Honestly, like a lot of people, like just a lot of basketball fans in general, weren't even like mentioning the Nuggets because they're just not one of that teams that has like, they're not a Lakers, they're not a Warriors, they're not a Phoenix Suns, they're not one of those.
Yeah. I'm just gonna break down these two halves. So the first half, oh my God, we saw Bam Adebayo go 14 points in the first quarter. Kyle Lowry, Bam and Kyle Lowry were so good tonight for the Heat. But this was a terrible game to watch. It was a rock fight. Both teams were just shooting ass.
It was just a flat out brick fest, and it was throughout the whole game too. Like until like the very end, shots started to go down a little bit.
Yeah,
but it was bad throughout like the whole game. Game.
And I remember I texted you. I'm like, I haven't seen the Nuggets play this bad. I think this is probably the worst I've seen them play in the whole playoff run. Like this was the worst game. I mean, at halftime, they shot 1 for 15. The Heat were shooting 4 for 15. I mean, Bam had 18 and 8 at the half. Jokic had 9, 9 and 4, and PJ had 9, 8 and 2. It was just disgusting. They were turnovers were out of it was crazy. They 10 turnovers at the half,
and they were in foul trouble.
It was just so sloppy. It was really sloppy basketball at the half.
They had Jokic had like 2 fouls in the first.
Yeah.
Everyone had fouls. Like, and another reason why Bam was kind of able to eat was that Jokic was in foul trouble early.
Yeah, he was attacking. Bam did a good job attacking Jokic in that space, in that mid-range area. Like he was not settling for the jump shot tonight. He was attacking it and going at Jokic, and that's why he had 18 and 8. And then what's crazy about the Heat is, and we've seen this the whole series, it's like no matter how good the Heat like play, it's just like they're not better than the Nuggets. It's like they should have took it the way the Nuggets played tonight. The Heat should have been up by 12, 14 points.
Then he should have won this game by a lot.
Yeah,
but it was like it was just crazy to think that like and even like in the one game that they did win, it was like the Heat shot 48% from 3, the Nuggets shot like 30. And it was like a 3-point game. And everyone played bad except like Jamal Murray in the fourth quarter and Jokic. Yeah. That whole game, everyone played bad besides those two.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, man. I was like, damn. It's like I remember when you texted me like, can he do this? And I'm like, I don't even feel like I don't believe it because of the Heat were up at halftime. They were up in the first couple. I'm like, the Nuggets still have control to me. It's like they just haven't, they just need to make shots. They're good. They were taking good shots because Miami Heat was doing a great job. The desperation basketball they played tonight was good. I mean, they were going in that zone. They were fouling. They were playing aggressive all full court. And they were just being really, really like just playing that desperate basketball. And it was working. And in the second half, we eventually knew the Nuggets shots were going to fall and they were going to catch the momentum eventually because, it's a game of runs. So in that third quarter, we saw the Nuggets start to climb back. Jamal Murray hit some threes. PJ, I think, hit a 3 in the corner. And then Jokic was cooking. Like I said, that's the thing with now, I think, The NBA might change now because the analytical basketball is what is kind of been the theme of the league. And I think the Nuggets are like the perfect mix of the analytical. Oh, let's shoot threes. We'll shoot the most threes and we'll make the most threes and win. I think teams are going to kind of like have a more balanced kind of basketball now because you see it. The Nuggets couldn't make a three. What, a 2 for 24 from three or whatever. They have Jokic.
They shot so bad,
Yeah.
and the thing is, it lasted throughout the whole. Like they shot 5 of 28. They shot 18%.
Yeah.
From three.
So it's like when they're shooting terrible from three, you have that inside. You guys that can hit mid ranges. Jamal Murray can hit his midi. Jokic. You have a post player that can get you easy buckets in that mid area, floaters.
And you're able to get points in the paint. You have Aaron Gordon's able to do that. You're able to get offensive rebounds. Even Bruce Brown and Christian Brown look good on that side.
Floaters,
and they're able to do that. Like and with that, like you're not, and it's not just Jokic eating all of the offensive rebounds because he's bigger. You have like you said, you have Christian Braun and you have Bruce Brown.
Yeah.
And you have those guys who are just energy guys who are going to eat up the boards. And that's the thing. The Heat have always been bad with the rebounding because it's really just Bam that's down there. And that's one edge that the Nuggets had throughout the whole series, and that a lot of other teams have had as well.
Yeah.
Is that they were able to just out hustle them.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's like we've seen the Boston Celtics downfall of them trying to play the analytics and shoot the most threes and we'll make more threes than you and we'll win the game. It's like, no, bro. You got to have a mix of both.
And besides like the Warriors, there's not been a lot of teams that have just been able to win like championships off of 3-pointers. Like but even the Warriors were able to like have like a game and not just rely on the 3-pointer to win them the game. They don't live and die by the three.
Yeah.
Even though they have like top 3-point shooters of all time.
Yeah. So the Nuggets, like I said, they climbed back in that third quarter. I think the end of the third quarter, they were down by 1 going into the fourth. Now the fourth got crazy. And this is like, remember we was texting about this. This is perfect playoff basketball, like, because this is what we're talking about. It's a slugfest. Rock fight. You can't hit. Both teams can't hit threes. What are you gonna do?
No fouls being
called. This is where I'm saying the analytics is gonna go away. The threes are gonna go away. Now it's gonna get to the nitty gritty. Can you get an easy bucket? Which team get easy buckets? Which team could fight in the end? And it was a fight down the stretch. And then we get down to this minute. I think the infamous Jimmy Butler call. Everybody was wondering, Jimmy was going ghost. Jimmy was going ghost tonight. He had 8 points in the fourth, I think, middle of the fourth quarter. I think it was about the 6-minute mark. He had 8 points. This was Jimmy tonight.
I'm going ghost!
And then all of a sudden, I think at the 5-minute mark, let me double check the play-by-play. Around the 5. Yeah, he missed a 24.3 at the 5-minute mark. He hit 2 back-to-back threes. Makes a 20-foot 3-point jumper, Caleb Martin assist, and then he makes a 26-foot 3-point jumper, 3:47 mark.
He had like 9 straight Heat points.
Yeah, and then the foul happened where, which Adam Silver had to make the call. Because
then the series and it didn't work. But
our man was fading away. I think he tried a heat check. I think he thought he was Steph Curry. It was like a double team in the corner. He's falling away from the basket, and nobody touches him. But he kicks his leg out, kicks AG in the nuts, and then we're all looking at like, oh, we saw the replay. We're like, oh, they're gonna overturn that. Nope. It was like opposite overturn. So we got they turned to call it a foul where we were all like, what? But Adam probably was like, I need this to go to game 6. So disregard that. The Heat go on an 8-0 run, and it's a game going down the stretch. Then we talk about this last Heat play. I mean, Jimmy Butler had, I think they were down 3, if I'm not mistaken. You remember when Jimmy had the pump fake?
Yeah, and there was also like, but Jimmy was bad throughout the entire end of that stretch, where he had the turnover to KCP, where he chucked up a 3. It was that was the ultimate like downfall too. Like there was like they weren't able to do anything in the end.
Yeah.
Like what they usually have been able to do throughout this entire playoffs was make greatness happen.
Yeah.
where they were just able to hit everything in the end of games. And it didn't happen. Jimmy Butler had turnovers, he had missed shots, and the Nuggets came out with a win.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so at the 27 seconds, it was that's when it was 89-90. So Jimmy Butler, like I said, this was a crucial play because he could have, when he dribbled down Jamal Murray, he backed him down all the way to the restricted area. He was in the paint. And Jimmy's known for this. They call him I saw on Twitter, they call him the pump fake merchant or something because he be pump faking all the time. He could have went strong. Like I said, it's 89-90. He could have went strong. He didn't. He pump faked. He dragged. I thought he traveled too at the same time. And then he made the bad pass. KCP steals it. And then KCP makes a free throw. It's 91-89. He makes 2 free throws. It's 92-89. He called a timeout. Kyle Lowry enters. Then Jimmy does then they're down what?
They're down 3, and then
Yeah.
Jimmy chucks up a 3. Bruce Brown hits 2 free throws.
Yeah.
The Heat miss, and then they let him dribble it out.
Even that shot too. The 2 shots by Jimmy.
No, that was horrible because
Yeah.
that last Jimmy shot was a chuck.
Yeah, I'm
And
like,
he didn't even need to do that. There was 16 seconds left.
I'm like, there's no organization. No kind of like screens or nothing. It was just like Jimmy just like shot a fadeaway, and that's not Jim. We know Jimmy.
He thought it was the Bucks series.
Yeah,
He thought it was the Celtics series.
We know playoff Jimmy's different, but that's just not his bag to do stuff like that. I'm sorry, it isn't. I know Jimmy. We've seen Jimmy do crazy stuff in the playoffs, but like it's not a consistent rate where he's hitting like KD, Devin Booker, Steph Curry shots all the time. Like that's not Jimmy. It's not him, and it just was a bad combination of plays down the stretch. But yeah, so the game ended. Nuggets are the champions. Let's quickly just jump into the Heat, man. I mean, if you're a Heat fan, you're probably feeling like, well, we made it to the finals. We're not supposed to be here. Tyler,
you know what? If you're a Heat fan, I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna keep your head high because you were never ever supposed to be here. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
No one expected them to make it this far. You were able to beat the Bucks. You were able to beat the Celtics. You were able to beat the Knicks. You were able to beat everyone in your way, and no one thought that the Heat would make it this far.
Yeah.
And they were able to do it. And even in this series, like they still made it interesting. Like this game was interesting.
They're one of the only teams to beat the Nuggets at home.
They took a game.
Yeah, they're one of the only teams. I don't think the Nuggets lost at home, but I think to the Wolves they lost. But like they're one of the only teams. Like,
The only game that they lost at home was to the Heat. The Heat played a really good, this was a great playoff run, and it was fun to watch this team. But the Nuggets were too good. The Nuggets were too good. We all knew what the end result was going to be realistically. But if you're a Heat fan, you're essentially bringing everyone back with Jimmy Butler, Bam, Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Victor Oladipo, Caleb Martin, Jovic, and Haywood Highsmith being on contract. The question is this: do you go after Damian Lillard? He's mentioned that that if he were to get moved, that the Heat would be his top destination along with Brooklyn. But he mentioned the Heat first, and the Heat is a very, very possible team that can go and get him. They're not. They don't
have as much assets, but they
don't have as much assets, but they have Hero. Jovic can be in a deal.
Yeah.
They have role players and Robinson, Martin, and they have 3 first-round picks. And if Portland goes off the simple fact of where Damian Lillard wants to go, and
sacrifices,
but they might do it because of what Damian Lillard has done for their franchise. But it's really just a matter of how much does the Heat really want it, and will the Blazers take that deal?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if Pat Riley, because he's very picky on who he brings in. So does this push Pat Riley to the limit? It's like I gotta get more firepower because we all know the Heat are good, but they need more firepower because offensively it's just they don't have that guy. I mean, Jimmy's a playoff. Jimmy is amazing, but you need a superstar offensive power. Like,
and they haven't really added anyone. Like when obviously like. They were able to make the finals with this team, but they still didn't really add anyone. And this team has essentially been the same for 3 years now.
Yeah.
And they did peak at the right time, but ultimately, I think we all knew at the end of the day, even with the run that they made, that wasn't enough to get it done.
Yeah.
So Damian Lillard is a possibility. It's just a matter of, are you willing to do that, and what's your team going to look like after that?
Yeah.
Because if you get Damian Lillard, then your cap is done, and you're essentially you're going to lose Hero, but Hero didn't play at all. It's interesting.
Yeah. So
But
if I'm the Heat, I'm looking for.
You're going to lose some other things.
I'm looking for more size because they might need. I think they'll need more size, backup center, maybe another power forward, and then you need that. You need that scoring, either a scoring wing or a superstar scoring guard. Those two things are must needs for the Heat going into the offseason next year. You have to get those. You have to get bigger, and then you got to get a scoring. You got to get more scoring.
And the Nuggets aren't really losing anyone. Like the Nuggets can do the same exact thing that they're going to that they did this year, and they could go back to back.
Yeah,
they could.
They got Jokic, Murray, MPJ, AG, KCP's coming back, Bruce Brown coming back, Zeke Naji, Christian Braun, and then 2 randoms. But everybody's back. Everybody's, like I said, for the Nuggets, what are you gonna get? What you need, a backup center again? You can probably find that in the free agency, and then you probably. What else you need? I guess that's it.
Maybe you can add more offensive firepower off the bench because without Jokic, where they did seem to lack in that aspect.
Yeah,
and that's when teams were able to go on their runs was when Jokic was not playing.
Yeah.
So you could look to
like
add
a Bones Highland, Emmanuel Quickley kind of guy, right? Like one of those guys that come off the bench and give you like buckets.
Yeah,
like,
it's just interesting to think that they did give up Bones Highland.
That's what's crazy. They gave him up, right? And they still won.
They can. But I think adding just like if you can add like a little bit of scoring off the bench, that would be good. Because realistically, you didn't have any major scoring options off the bench. Obviously, Bruce Brown, Jeff Green, and Christian Brown were able to do their thing.
Yeah.
But there's no really scores coming off that bench. So when Jokic is off the floor, you can have some other offensive options that are coming off your bench and that you can complement your other team with. Because obviously, like Jamal Murray is still solid, but like you saw how the team looked without him.
Yeah, they need to perfect their bench a little bit more. And if I'm a Nuggets fan, I feel amazing because I just won the chip. I got the best team, best player in the league, and we coming back next year with the same team. We just gonna make minor moves. Like I said, increase that bench, increase the scoring off the bench, and that's it. Because the whole core is coming back. Everybody's coming back. So you just gonna increase the bench, and you're set for another championship run if you're a Nuggets fan. So it's like you should be feeling amazing. I mean, Jokic is incredible. I loved watching. I think this really proved to the league that Jokic is, a superstar. He's here. Like, no more. Yeah, he's just that guy. No, you got to give him his respect as one of the best players in the world. Like, he could be. There's an argument he's number 1 player in the world right now. So it's like you got to give him that respect. And it was great watching the Nuggets run. I mean, I'm happy for Jamal Murray, especially, man. This was so good to see him after that ACL. Bro, he went through it. I thought Jamal Murray was going to come back for one moment.
This is like the first time we've actually seen a healthy Nuggets team in a minute.
Yeah, so I'm like
MPJ injured, and then Jamal Murray, and now you're able to see what that's like with everyone actually being able to play, and it was good. And even MPJ didn't look good, at all. Really, I mean, this was his best game of the series.
Yeah. Make sure you guys hit that like button, press the subscribe button. We'll probably be hopefully we'll have some more content. I mean, this is gonna be a crazy free agency. We might do some draft videos, we might do some free agent. If any trade news pops out, we'll try to drop on this page, keep the algorithm happy with this Hoops World page. But appreciate all the subscribers that we have so far. Make sure you hit that like button for us. We'll be back, man, and basketball season is not done because we still have the off season. The off season is another season. It's another season. It's going to be exciting, but appreciate you guys, man. We'll be back.